Taking one last look back to your Monday, we topped out at 16 degrees, our low of 7, so only 1 degree above normal for this time of the year for your morning low, 6 degrees under for your afternoon high. Nowhere near the record of 44 or negative 32 degrees, and we are getting closer to 9 hours of daylight. When it comes to those temperatures today, though, they really bounced back. We actually more than doubled what we saw yesterday into those 30s, 32 in Marquette and Iron Mountain, a little bit above the freezing mark as we go a little bit further towards the east, 35 in Munising, 35 in Manistee, and towards the west, slightly under the freezing mark, 29 in Ontonagon, 30 in Houghton. But looking at those winds, mostly coming out of the southeast between 5 to 15 miles per hour for a good portion of the UP, but these winds are really going to begin to pick up more and more as we go deeper into the overnight. We are right now looking at what's ahead, though. We are seeing the effects of this first cold front pushing through the UP, and this one will begin to exit later on tonight. By the time we go into tomorrow, we introduce very quickly system number 2, and a new batch of snow comes into the region. And really, it won't be until Thursday going into Friday we'll begin to see high pressure settle in, and we'll have a lot more sunshine coming in, which will actually last going into the early portion of next week. But before we get to that sunshine, we got to deal with these two disturbances. First, these advisories and watches and warnings are all for system number 1. The white is actually the winter weather advisories. These are actually going to be in effect until 1 a.m. When it looks to those winds, that's actually the beige color. These are wind advisories. We can see gusts up to 50 to 60 miles per hour, especially over the Keweenaw Peninsula. So there could be potential for power outages, and also that visibility will be reduced with that blowing snow. When it comes to the snow accumulations, as they begin to reduce tonight, we could see some areas get up to an extra 4 to 6 inches throughout the night. And when it comes to the blue, these are actually winter storm warnings, which are actually already expiring as we speak. Looking into your Wednesday a little more closely, system number 1 really quickly exits the Midwest and goes into parts of the Northeast and the Canadian Maritimes. System number 2 replaces it and already in parts of Michigan tomorrow, bringing a new batch of snow. This one could bring some accumulations between 4 to 6 inches. By the time we go into your Thursday, though, high pressure will begin to march into the region. And here's how it all breaks down. We'll have a brief quiet period after system number 1. System number 2 makes its way tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening. By the time we go into your Thursday, we begin to see a mixture of sun and clouds. That will continue. And overall, high pressure will take control for a good portion of the Midwest going into the next couple of days. We are going to see temperatures, though, fall for Thursday and Friday before they go back on the upside going towards the second half of the weekend. Looking into tonight, though, 12 degrees. Snow will begin to decrease, especially after midnight, but those winds are going to remain, especially with that wind advisory, which expires at 5 a.m. Sustained winds could be up to 30 miles per hour, but gusts could be up to 50 to 60 miles per hour, especially in the Keweenaw Peninsula. Going into your Wednesday, those winds are eventually going to begin to relax a lot more, with those winds eventually coming out of the southwest. But as you can see, temperatures are only going to fall back into those teens, so very similar to what it was back on Monday, with only temperatures getting into those mid-teens. We're going to see those flurries really return in the picture once again, but this will be the last batch of flurries we're going to see pretty much for the remainder of the work week and even going into the weekend. But looking at your day plan a little more closely, temperatures are not going to move too much from the morning low to the afternoon high. They will begin to take a little more of a tumble going into tomorrow night as system number 2's snowfall begins to decrease, with sunrise occurring at 8:32 a.m. And going into the next 7 days, here's how it all breaks down. We're going to see temperatures eventually plummet into the single digits for highs on Friday. Morning lows are going to be hovering around 0 from Thursday morning to Saturday morning. And by the time we go into your Saturday, we begin to flip that switch and temperatures begin to go on the upswing. 21, 27, 32, and 33 by the time we go towards Martin Luther King, even though we are going to be dealing with a little more clouds by early next week as a couple of systems try to get close to our region.